Welcome to another edition of the Extra Pass. My name is Adam Ballinger. Today we have a mailbag extravaganza. It's a special episode. I'm excited. Ben's excited. Locke's excited. And I hope our guest, Dean Vickerman, is excited. Let's cut to him now. Dean, are you excited? And how's it going?
Mailbag. I'm always excited about what our fans have got to ask about. And so, yeah, let's jump into it and see if we can knock out some questions.
Well, it's always much easier. Like you probably have a few speaking engagements, and if they say you just answer questions, that's so much better than having to write your own
Q&A.
Yeah, Q&A.
So much
always
better than
Q&A. We'll always go with Q&A. Okay. So for right now, a bit of a downturn of the season. This is the only time we'll talk about it, maybe. What's the mindset right now of the team, I guess? I don't know. I don't have like a cool thing to go into other than we've lost a few in a row, and how are we feeling now?
Yeah, obviously the subpar performances against Perth and Southeast. And, I thought we found our way back versus Adelaide and Sydney, both overtime games, and one more possession, and we're talking a little bit differently. But we've taken it to say, hey, we made some strides, fix up some offensive spacing. There's a good confidence, good connection within the group. Mm-hmm. Our practice has been elite the last 2 days, and so hopefully we get back to some form that we saw a little earlier in the year.
All right, good. Nobody in this room is worried. I'll tell you that. All right, Christmas is coming up. I don't know if you knew that. During basketball season, I always couldn't stand Christmas, but Christmas could be kind of a pain in the rear end. Like you're trying to get all the, you travel, you can't really travel much, but all the other stuff that goes with it while you're also trying to concentrate on the season, and you got that schedule to deal with. Are you excited for Christmas? Do you have plans?
Yeah, I'm talking to my parents, and we're going to have a bit of a smaller Christmas this year. I think just 7 of us, 7 mm-hmm. family. We head back down to Warragul, to the country, and looking forward to it. The food part, I enjoy, and some treats there. My parents are getting a little older, and so just good quality time with them.
Yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't have had last few Christmases off, right? Is that right?
Yeah, we've been okay. It was the Sydney one. We have travelled on Christmas Day, that Christmas Day game in Sydney a few years ago wasn't a fun one.
All right, the last question before we get on to the other questions. Best gift you've ever gotten? I'm going to guess fishing rod.
Ooh. See, I'm a bit of a non-surprise kind of guy. So
you don't like
if I want something, I buy it for myself and surprise. I did buy myself a fishing rod and wrap it up, and I was look at this reel. This looks fantastic. And so, I can't remember. I've got no magic favorite.
No favorite.
No Christmas present. So
okay. All right, thank you for that, Dean. Now we're moving into the mailbag extravaganza section of the podcast. Score yourself a great deal at Chemist Warehouse. Find huge savings on all your favorite brands across vitamins, sports nutrition, fragrances, hair care, and lots more. Shop in-store, online, or click and collect at chemistwarehouse.com.au. Okay, number 1. This is from Alex. What do NBL teams want/look for in young prospects? Good question.
Good question, yeah. For us, we always talk about the people first. So, people that are selfless, that are team players, that are willing to make sacrifices for the good of the team.
Yep.
Then it becomes the skill set. For us, can you sit down and guard and defend? And then what can you offer that's unique? Are you fast? Can you shoot it?
Yeah.
Are you a great passer? What's the skill set that gets you on the floor as well? And then there's the athlete. Again, what can you offer as an athlete, and the physicality of our game right now? There has to be a toughness as well. So I've probably jumped into 7 or 8 different categories there, but
no, I think the fact you said what type of person they are first before like the measurables of height, and how high can you jump and stuff like that is pretty obvious from the people that we have around the club. Okay, number 2 from Ryan. How do you keep the guys confident when they have a bad shooting game like the other night? So the other night was, I didn't realize, but one for 28. Was that doesn't happen very often. That's hard to do. You know, that's hard to do. And that's bad luck and everything, and it just happens. But have you ever had a game like that?
Well, I think it's our worst in club history. So
I would imagine
you don't want too many of those. But, you know, I think as coaches, we look back and say, you know, how many of them were uncontested, and we think 13 of the 28 were, you know, really good looks. So can we be better in creating more open looks that give us even a better opportunity? But I don't think there'll be a problem with our confidence at all. I think as long as we feel like the process to get good shots was correct, and our spacing, screening was correct, you know, the guys are putting in the work. Yeah. And so you know that sometimes there's going to be a game that's just a blemish, and you move on, and we get back to kind of the mean of where our team shoots it, and that's somewhere right now. You know, it should be around the 35 mark. It's probably dropped a little bit lower than that this year, and, you know, I think this second half of the year we're going to shoot the basketball very well. Yeah,
as a coach, you can't really. I mean, is it hard not to get mad at missed shots? You know, because when I was playing in college, like Coach Izzo, and I think he's gotten a lot better at it. But it was hard for him to deal with missed shots, even if he did everything right leading up to it. You miss a couple shots. As a shooter, maybe sometimes shooters can be a little fragile. You start getting yelled at for the ball not going in, and it's kind of a negative effect, you know. But it does happen. Is it hard to lay off? You know, they get 3 or 4 open shots, and you just want to say, "Come on, like, what are you doing?" But you can't really. I mean, you talk about the preparation, and as long as you're doing everything right up to the point, you just kind of got to let it go.
Yeah, no, I've got much better at it, and, you know, to walk into a timeout and, hey, process is great. You know, we just, you know, let's put the ball in the hole. You know,
you're 1 for
stay
28.
Confident, shoot it with, you know, shoot it when you're ready, and step into it confident. And so they're kind of the messages I have. You know, I really do have got this process side to me now to say, yeah, we created a good shot. Yeah. What's our rebounding look like? You know, if it's a good, predictable shot, you know, we're not going to probably give up a D-trans basket going the other way. So as soon as the ball releases for me, I'm kind of moved on to what's going to happen defensively, or are we in good rebounding spots?
All right, number 3, this is from Caleb. All right, will you ever bring back the sharp powder blazer?
Don't know. You know, it was
powder blue blazer.
it was a men's club sponsorship that I enjoyed, and I've still got a lot of blazers from, and you know, wore them in the NBA game, and so it's a good sponsorship. So, but most of all, our media guys have taken on the sponsorship now. You see Peter Hooley and Drewy and Copes, and they're all wearing the nice men's club stuff now, and we're. You know, we've got some nice sponsors on our polos.
More comfortable. You don't see as many suits on the sideline. I mean, it must the blazer made an impact because we're getting questions about it. But
summer league, it was more about when is Vickerman going to throw the blazer off, and that became the frustration of the game about. But I'm sure it was missed shots, probably a defensive coverage that got blown, and we'd throw the blazer off somewhere in the first quarter.
Okay, so maybe if it moves to a winter league, you might put a blazer back on. Yeah. Okay, this one's from Caleb. This is question number 4. No, sorry, Kalesh. The last one was Kalesh. Is that right, Ben?
These are just the names that were submitted.
Caleche, Kalesh, I think. All right, how do United fans become the best, most supportive group for our team? Yeah, so what can the fans do to be even more supportive? Or how? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think you know, we talk about you know, leadership engagement and player engagement, and what unique things can they bring to the game, and how do they foresee special plays, and what can they kind of come up with? And coaching staff, we come up with our own processes, and to me, it's the fans as well. It's like you know, can they get a collective group together to say, hey, let's have a go at this. Maybe they've seen that in another sporting landscape, and when we make a 3, that they do something. When we, in the last 2 minutes of the game, they come up with something. And so I think, you know, just an engagement of a group having a go at something and then seeing if it gets followed by the rest of the crowd. I think that should be some of the challenge of our hardcore fans, to see what they can come up with.
That would be cool. Really cool.
Is that something you've enjoyed even in the away throwdowns when we have Section 62 and now they're all wearing blue, they're all wearing the T-shirts, they're getting loud? Is that something, similar that you would like to see at the home games?
Yeah, I think they've enjoyed it. I think they've been in an away venue and having a nice mob of Melbourne United fans and them being, a tight little supporter base and challenging, the rest of the stadium is pretty cool. So, yeah, away, having our groups come to away games is fantastic, but, creating an experience at Melbourne United where other people come and they maybe not seen a basketball game before and they're like, wow, their fans are amazing the way that they support their team.
Nice. Well answered. Okay, number 5. This is from Tracy. What is the hardest part of being a coach? Pretty open-ended question there.
Yeah. The hardest part is probably the most enjoyable part too, is trying to get the best out of everybody. And everybody's a little bit different and everyone has unique learning styles. And so I think the hardest part is just, gathering all the information about people, understanding, how you can hold them accountable, what kind of positivity they need, and just how to treat everybody in a way that gets the best out of them, but maybe others don't feel like you're giving them special treatment. To try and treat everybody a little bit equally, but make sure that they feel like that you're connected to them because you've taken the time to understand how they learn and how to celebrate their performances.
Nice. It's a balancing act, would you say?
Balancing act.
Yeah, between each player. All right, number 6, this is from Jess. Does it bother you when the media starts to crap on the team after a couple of bad games?
Yeah, we're pretty good as a team in not really ever talking about what the media says about us. And
Do you see much of it?
I'm on social media, so whenever you have a couple of losses, there's more things popping up about what's the concerns about Melbourne United and different things. But I never dig into an article and read it. For us, we're a team that's we're harder on ourselves than the media is on us anyway. So you come to a film session and you'll see the things that we're not doing well, and you'll see the things that we are doing well. And no one in the media is here every day seeing what we do and how we prepare and what's going on with our club. So again, just a strong circle of listen to the people that come into this work environment every day.
So in the years that you've been coaching here, have you ever had any bulletin board moments as far as like what's in the media or what another team has said about us that makes it to the media? Then you put that up and that fires you up, or you don't really even use that?
Not really. I saw one of, was it Quatnoy? I've just got.
Was that today? So Ben was talking about it. I didn't see anything.
That was a little interesting and stuff. So again, that's, I guess, we're a club that never tries to give other teams ammunition, next time they play us or anything like that. So if other teams want to do that, and if we feel like it's appropriate that gives us motivation, we may use it, but it's very, very rare, I'd say.
Yeah, don't need it. Shouldn't need it as a player. Okay, this is from number 7. This is from Mind Starts Now on Instagram. What's the best way to have a fast mental reset after making a mistake? Not a bad question. Yeah. So I guess like kind of turnover or something on the court.
Yeah, it's one of the challenges in, having a performance staff and a psych on staff, and it's one of the things that we continue to talk about. How present can you stay in the moment? So if you've made an error, if you've missed a shot, that part's gone. And so the more time that you spend on what just happened, the less you're going to be focused on what your next task is. And so, as present as you can stay in the next moment is something that we've been preaching. Same with a stoppage in play, whether our group can just gather together, and if there is a frustration within the group, to have that moment to just let it out and then move on. Hey, this is our next play mentality. This is what we need from you next, and so move on to the next job. but it's challenging for all athletes,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna get distracted by different things, and how quickly can you refocus?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Everyone can move on if they're playing well. If you're playing really well, if things are going well, you make a mistake, dribble the ball off your foot, you're on to the next play. But it's when those things compound and you're having a rough time, that kind of stuff.
And maybe you got too long sitting on the bench sometimes to think about it.
Yeah, or you think then you start thinking, oh, what are the coaches thinking? What are the fans thinking? Oh, too much stuff seeps in and it makes it tough.
Dino, how important do you think that aspect is for young basketball players coming up? Because I feel like a lot of young players can put a lot of pressure on themselves to be perfect and not miss shots and not make mistakes. How important is it from a young age to know, okay, I can make mistakes as long as my process is right and as long as I'm focused on improving?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of advertising or signatures going around of Michael Jordan, and this is how many game winners he took, and this is how many game winners he made, and we're a game of failure. Shooting a basketball at 50% is a pretty good number, and so we fail. More than we succeed in certainly shooting. People are going to have turnovers. It's an imperfect game, and so once people can understand that errors are a major part of the game, and I think when we see a young player come into our gym, it's you just don't want to see someone make some errors and just keep sinking down. It's how does he just move on to to create the next play that can be better.
Well said. All right, number 8 from Steve. How do you shake things up throughout the season to keep the team engaged at practice? Good question. Soccer's one of them, right?
No, it really is. Yeah, no, soccer's a good one. And we know even when we have a good soccer game before practice, if the engagement's high in that, we know that we're set up for a pretty good day. I thought in the FIBA window, they tried a few different things. Went and learned how to make a real coffee.
Yeah, we heard about that. Yeah.
Played a bit of paddle ball. Is it paddle ball? Paddle?
Yeah, it wasn't pickleball.
It's just called paddle.
Paddle. Yeah, paddle tennis, whatever it might be. We haven't had our cricket game yet, so it's a bit of an annual event for us to play cricket. But I think in just generally, we look at our player development. How can we do it a little bit differently? What can we add to it? We look at the drills that we already have. Mm-hmm. It's like, how can we change it just to give it a little bit of variety? And there's a lot of things when you're coaching that you want to continue those drills. They're really good for you. But just put a little tweak, or maybe a offensive rebound's worth an extra point to your team, or what do you want to emphasize in a drill that makes it a little bit different?
Because at the end of the day, every single day you show up, you're trying to put the ball in the basket more than the other team. But you can't just say that every day.
Or stop the other team more.
Yeah, or stop the other team, yeah. Okay. That was from Steve. Now we're on to number 9. This is from Dan. Real simple names from these people putting in questions. Except for Kalesh.
Except for Kalesh.
Yeah. All right. From Dan. Who is your favorite player and favorite team to watch in the NBA? Good question. Thanks, Dan.
The NBA. Yeah. I've gone through the journey of.
Yeah, we can go all time here.
Yeah, Larry Bird was my first one. Yeah. Into Larry Bird, into Magic Johnson, into Isaiah Thomas.
You're going backwards almost. Larry
was
Magic
first.
At the same time.
Larry Magic first time, yeah. And then into...
Oh, you're right. Then Isaiah, sorry.
Then into
right.
Isaiah, into the Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
And then a little bit of Timmy Hardaway after that. I enjoyed the Killer crossover and and that group that they had at the Warriors. Most recent, I think Edwards is watching him on the national team. I was like, wow, he's just one of the most elite athletes in the world.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested in what Wemby can actually do. He's
playing right now.
This freak.
Yeah.
That's 7'6" or whatever he is, and playing like a guard and doing all these things, and it's like, wow, how can he change the game, at this level? So
it seems his only challenge is staying on the court. If he can stay healthy, I think I don't know what you do against him. As long as he's on the court, there's not much to do. Okay, last one. Okay, back into it. Last one. Here we go, Dino. Okay, number 10. This is from Riley. Is there an arena not in the NBL you'd most like to coach a game in?
Oh, it has to be a partisan.
Yeah,
I think just
with the crowds.
With the crowds,
Yeah.
just the way that they we talk about our fan engagement and what could we do when you look at a partisan game.
Yeah,
and you
do we
say,
want that level?
Could we? Maybe we don't want the flares or
Yeah, the batteries
or
in the back
different
of the
things,
players'
but we
heads.
want the chance. We want we want the synergy between the fans and how they celebrate and get after different teams as well. So I think it's a lifelong goal for me as to whether we get to coach a game against them or when I just get to go and watch a game over there would be amazing.
It does seem wild, but whenever I see the footage, it's like there's like fire in the crowd. Okay, Dean, thanks for that. Very well done. All right, next game coming up is against the Hawks. Do we have a focus? What are we thinking going into that? And how excited are you to play and get back on the court?
Yeah, great fans for the Kings game. Overtime, close game. They're going to be into it, and we've had close games against the Hawks. Our first two games, we were able to get one in their venue, and so for us, it's about obviously still a championship rematch. There's always going to be something in this game playing them about the championship of past, but we try and stay in the present moment. This is what we need to do right now. And they're starting to play a little faster. McGee is a challenge in himself, just the size of him, and whether we have Jesse or not, we'll find out whether he's playing, and so how we counter that. But I thought Fab just did a great job the other night.
Yeah, he did.
We'll go in with what we have. We hopefully we're just a little bit more in sync with the reps that we've had with all our guys kind of returning from injuries and concussions and different things illness and the things that we've had. So hopefully we just put on a better offensive performance. I thought we were really strong defensively against the Kings.
All right, Dean, thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks to Locke, Ben, me. This is our last episode until after the Australian Open. So for real, thank you to everyone who listens. It means a lot to us. Looking forward to the next game. Go United. Also, go Chemist Warehouse.